Welcome everyone to Bite the Bullet. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Jay Rees, and today, man, oh man, I have an awesome guest for you. I have Jimmy Clare, who just an all-around great guy. He happens to be in college right now, but that is not stopping him or hindering him. That is only helping him to pursue his dreams and his career. But as I always do, let me stop babbling and go ahead and give him a proper introduction off of my lovely cards here. Jimmy Clare is a passionate autism advocate, sought after motivational speaker, soon to be author, and the founder of Crazy Fitness Guy, which shows healthy living through autistic eyes, where he covers a wide variety of topics that include fitness, self-help, nutrition, managing stress, lifestyle, and of course, autism. So without further ado, let's welcome Jimmy Clare. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
All right. So let me go ahead and ask. The last thing I mentioned off of your bio was Crazy Guy Fitness. Would you mind explaining to the audience why you started it and how you got started?
Well, so Crazy Fitness Guy, I started with, near the end of my, I think it was my first semester in college, one too many semesters ago. My English teacher told me, said the only way to become a better writer is to keep writing. And I knew I couldn't do just write in a Word document every day or write on a blank piece of paper because it sounds boring. I don't do stuff over and over again because it's boring. I do it because it's fun, or I might watch my favorite show on repeat because it's just really funny. But I don't do the same. I don't tend to do something over and over again because it's just boring. So I had to keep coming back to something over and over again. So I was like, what if I create a website? And when I was in my college degree for personal training, it was first geared towards fitness, and but then I eventually changed it down the road 5 majors later to for motivational speaking, and so now I try to get people to motivate to live a healthy living lifestyle, and since now I outrank Richard Simmons, the old personal trainer, and his Wikipedia page, I'm keeping the name.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I'm curious, why fitness and why motivating people? Because trust me, as a motivator and the alter ego, Mr. Positivity, I understand how hard and frustrating it could be to be healthy and particularly to motivate other people to do it. So why are you doing it?
Well, to be fair to I have a lot of friends who have some extra challenges, and like I wouldn't say that they were necessarily heavy before the pandemic. They were like fine in their own ways, but during this pandemic, I've seen a lot of them have gained some extra weight because they can't go to the gym, and some people's excuses like, well, I can't work out because my space is too small. You know how big my shore house is? 1,500 square feet.
Wow.
And I don't think it can get any smaller. Well, I mean, it could, but that's already small enough. I mean, obviously, I'm not in my shore house now, but I'm in my Pennsylvania house. But still, it's like the garage is like this narrow,
right?
And it's like if I can work out in a tight ass garage, you can sure as heck work out. And it's like this, it's like it might not be pretty, it can still get the job done.
I agree. Once I got committed and got rid of all my excuses, I started seeing results. So how do you motivate yourself? I guess is maybe a question that I would like to ask, because it's one thing to motivate other people, but it's tends to be harder to motivate yourself. So how do you do that?
Well, for me, when I was growing up, I had a lot of autism meltdowns, and uh, if you asked anybody who knows me for a long time or
Hmm.
who's been uh, who's who've been helping me get through where I am today,
Hmm.
they could tell you so many different reasons of why those autism meltdowns occurred.
Okay.
The only real person who would know it would be me. Honestly, I don't know it. And so, but I didn't like how I felt, and I didn't like the aftermath of it
Hmm.
because basically it's kind of, I like to sum, basically I like to sum up how an autism meltdown is. Think of
Okay.
it as a nuclear bomb just going
Wow.
off in the back of my mind. And I basically threw stuff across the room, not aiming at anybody, just because I was just angry about something,
Hmm.
or it is I had so much emotion built up inside me, and for whatever reason, I can't tell
Hmm.
you the reason. I think I kind of just blacked out all of that uh, because it's in the past, and I try not to look in the past. But I sometimes tend to do that still a little bit of
Hmm.
why. But as I doesn't make me who I am today. I kind of felt like I had to experience that in order to get where I am today. And but so I didn't like the feeling and the aftermath of that.
Hmm.
And then and of course because I had all those outbursts, I was forced to be on this medication that basically kind of just masked my true feelings. And so I was like, I'm always happy. And it's like, I don't like this. And it's like I feel like I'm weed or something.
Right.
And so I don't like that. And so I was like, I want to be able to experience happy or sad or frustration, but in a different way and not the way I'm doing. And
So,
so
Jimmy,
fitness,
sorry, my
yeah.
apologies for interrupting, but I want to ask: were you able to have that conversation with your parents, or was this after you became legally an adult?
Uh, for which part?
For when you didn't want to be on the medication and you started transitioning to do something different.
That was a when I was basically an adult at the time, like
Okay.
I was a teenager, and I was talking to dad at my dad at the time because my
Okay.
mom was on a trip with my grandma. I think they
Hmm.
were in Russia, uh, just just visiting because they always wanted to go. It
Okay.
was a mother and daughter trip, and so I wasn't invited. Of course, I wasn't invited. Bummer.
Right.
And so so I wanted to get but because when I found fitness I liked the way it felt, and so I was like, can I always feel like this way? And so I work out 6 days a week after doing P90X, and
Hmm.
because that was always 6 days a week.
Hmm.
And now there's workout programs that are some are 5 days a week, some are 3 days a week, some are 6 days a week. And so I was like, even if it's 5 days a week, I'm just
Uh-huh.
gonna add six because six is like my magic number.
Wow, Jimmy, I got to tell you, man, like ever since we first started speaking, you inspire me because sitting here listening here now, you work out 6 times a week. You never want to look back on your life because you know you're moving forward and you're doing all these things to change yourself and to help others change themselves, right? I would like to go back just for a second because I know we're talking about your situation and your challenges, and you were diagnosed with autism, correct?
Hmm. Yep.
Can you please define autism for the audience?
Well, for me, in my opinion, autism is basically a never-ending jigsaw puzzle, and
Mm,
and you don't get a complete puzzle. It's
okay.
always parts and missing, and you have to find the right uh, and you have to find the right piece in order to complete the puzzle.
Okay.
That's But and how I like to sum it up is basically you don't complete the puzzle until the day you die.
Wow. Okay, I like that. I like that. So, what challenges are you comfortable sharing with us? Because, in your own words, your life is a puzzle that you're constantly trying to fit pieces in or figure out where the piece is. So, how challenging have things been for you, particularly with fitness?
Uh, for fitness, there's quite a bit challenging. Like I live with spinal stenosis, meaning it's hard for me to move my neck this way, this way, up and
Right.
down, and there's
Hmm.
only so much movement in my neck. And
Okay.
if I have if I had severe whiplash, I could be paralyzed. I think it was they said from the head down.
Okay.
I forget, but uh, I don't like to think about it. But
I understand why. Yeah.
and so uh, so I had to modify certain moves or stay away from moves. Like
Okay.
for strength training karate, I stick with push-ups. I can do mountain climbers, which is just uh, you're in you're basically in a plank position and you're just running your knees in very fast. And
Right.
and uh, but I had to find modifications. So like that we like we had us they have us do sometimes hyperextensions, and where you just like
Hmm.
basically lift your spine up and then back down slowly, and my
Okay.
neck did not like that at all. So I asked
Mm.
them, it's like, can I do anything else besides that move, because I just can't do it. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, do sit-ups, do push-up, do some extra push-ups. And I was like, do something that you know you can do without hurting yourself. And my senseis and Joshi's always, and it's like, I'll just remember that you're doing this because you can't physically do that, and I'll remember that. And ever since I did that, I'm fine just modifying stuff for myself, because I was like, I know what I can't do. I also can't do overhead presses for shoulders,
Hmm.
because just too much in my neck. Because think about how your shoulder is. You
Hmm.
reach up and then it's kind of like goes right
Right.
into your neck and everything. It's
Hmm.
like, ooh, nope, doesn't work.
Hmm.
And I don't do anything that goes over my head because, again, too much strain.
But that's remarkable that when you're faced with adversity, you keep finding these ways. You know what? I may not be able to do this, but what can I do? Just the simple fact that you're able to ask your coaches and your physical trainers, "Hey, this hurts. I can't do this, but I still want to do something. What can I do?" That is remarkable. Where do you think that drive comes from within you?
I think the drive comes in from me is because I got told a lot of no's when I was growing up, not by my parents, but by doctors who's like, I had doctors who told me that I wasn't going to read higher than a second grade level.
Okay.
And I was like, well, hello, I'm in college. Uh, I was like, boy, if I was reading at a second grade level, I'm, I'm, I don't know. I don't think I can be in college then.
By chance, have you been able to tell those doctors you're in college now? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'd be nice. And so I got told I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to read at a higher level.
Mm,
I was told I won't be able to walk without crutches or braces. Never had
okay.
either of them. Uh, I also, it was just like a long list of things that they told me, nope,
Hmm.
you won't be able to do that.
Right.
I even saw this on an article by Autism Speaks, and I'm sure this is going to catch up to me later. Uh, but they paint. I don't like how they paint autism just black and white, where they
Mm,
just uh, where there's like, oh well, like this whole article they had the statistics, of course,
okay.
and I'm sure I'm. and I'm not blaming them for the statistics. It's the way that they say this. And
Right, the wording, right?
it's like you won't like people with autism won't be able to do this, 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 this. They're probably going to need help with this, and it's like maybe you should rephrase it and say you might not. This person might not be able to do this, but he can still experience a good life. And it's like we're not, and just like, oh well, you're autistic, so your life is over.
I think that actually comes into my next question of one of your titles is that you're very passionate about being an autism advocate. And I think that speaks to probably why you are, because there's this portrayal that it's black and white, and that if you have autism, it's essentially a death sentence by certain people. That's not what I'm trying, but like by certain people. So why do you feel it's important to let everyone know that is not autism?
Because, uh, like for instance, people. I don't know if people know the name, but Temple Grandin, who's been around for years, she's an autism advocate as well. She lives. Uh, I don't know much about her, but she's been around a long time. I think she's in her. I didn't want to say that number because that number might.
Let's just say she's been around for a while. So
Yeah,
let's do
let's go with that. And but she's been she's been one of my inspirations of starting
Mm,
because like she she didn't like how the system is working.
mm,
Like honestly, I don't like how some of the colleges have you have to renew accommodations every single semester, which doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, my autism is not going away.
mm-hmm,
I was like, well, I was like, we always done it this way.
mm.
Doesn't mean you can't change. I was like,
Right.
you expect me to change for you, but you don't expect me to.
Right. No, I get that completely. So I'm curious if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind sharing, when it comes to autism, what are some of the challenges that you personally have? Because as you're saying, autism, there's a broad spectrum of different challenges and issues that one might face. So what are yours that you have to deal with?
For me, there's sometimes I still have trouble looking people in the eyes
Okay.
because I never like the phrase or the or whatever you call it when people say "look me in the eyes" because it's
Mm,
like, am I in trouble? uh, well,
right.
I mean, like think about it. Like if your parents like come back here and look me in the eyes, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh. And I was like, what did I do?
Right.
And I'm not like I'm not always a troublemaker, but it's like I don't like that saying because like did I piss someone off?
Mhm.
And I just don't like that. And so I kind of made a game out of it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And so I usually start at looking at people in the eye for maybe a second, and then I go onto the wall behind them, and then I look at the, and then I kind of glance up at the ceiling a little bit, not like all the way up at the ceiling, like is like a
Right.
big
Yeah.
notice, but like maybe a glimpse up at the ceiling,
Okay.
and then a glimpse to the left or right, and then a glimpse at the floor behind the person, and then I look back in the person's eyes again. And the reason I did that because I kind of came up with a little game is because I kind of don't know how long I should look people in the eye for because then people might say, "You're creepo."
Mm,
And so I was like, I don't know how long I'm supposed to look.
mhm. But that's pretty cool to hear you say that. Yet again, you found a way to overcome what one of your issues is, or what you felt was a challenge, and you made a game out of it, right? So
Yeah.
I love that. Is there anything else you might have done for any other issues?
Like from sometimes it's hard for me to make friends
Okay.
still, but I found I've been meeting a lot of people through podcasting and everything, and no one has ever said. And it's like, oh, you're weird, or
Mm-hmm.
because you're autistic, you're
Mm-hmm.
weird. I have a lot of friends in person that I hang out with a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them didn't even know I had autism until I was comfortable enough sharing it out in the world. And it's like, I didn't even know you were autistic. And it's like, how long have we been friends?
Well, that's pretty cool though that you found people that are able to see you as you and not for any challenges that you might have, and I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
So I actually think the friend place might be a good segue to the bite the bullet questions. Which actually, before I even go to that, let me go ahead and say, Jimmy, I hope you think of me as a friend because I think of you as a friend, my friend.
I do.
So here are the bite the bullet questions. Jimmy does not know what questions are coming his way, and I'm sure he is shaking over there in his hoodie. Are you ready, Jimmy? Oh, okay. Oh, it's like that. Okay. All right, Jimmy. All right. So let's go. Question number one. What is a common myth you think people have about you that you would like to debunk?
Uh, I'm not truly crazy.
Oh, I like that. I like that. What's one thing you wish you had known before you started your college career?
Uh, I would like to. I wish I would known that it was okay to change majors, because everybody says like you must stick with this or you're gonna
Uh huh.
fall totally behind. And it's like, no, I'm feeling pretty good of the major I'm in now.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Ooh, this is a hard one.
Mm.
I would say Miranda Cosgrove,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
Angus Young from
Hmm.
ACDC,
Okay.
and oh, this is hard. Uh,
Oh.
Man, why could you say six? uh,
Nope, just three, man. Just three.
Damn. Uh, uh, I would also say Bon Jovi.
And Bon Jovi. So why Bon Jovi? Why ACDC? And why Miranda Cosgrove?
Because I'm a big for Bon Jovi
Hmm.
is uh he's another one of my favorite singers and musicians.
Hmm.
Angus Young. eh, I saw two ACDC concerts so far in life,
Okay.
and it's amazing on how that he keeps on going on stage, and
Yeah.
like uh, 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 I can't imagine how great it feels to be on stage like that. Like I was like, how can you keep doing that? And it's like, I was like, is it nerve wracking to get up on stage in front of all those people? And
Yep.
and I really love all their music. I even have some AC/DC posters in my room, one above my desk and one over
Hmm.
in the corner in my room. Actually, not even my corner, on the other side of my room.
Yeah, I can't
And
front. I like some ACDC.
and uh, and Miranda Cosgrove, I think she's just such a nice person. Is like I currently like I I grew up with iCarly, and
Uh huh.
she just always seems like a nice person. And I
Okay.
mean, and like even just looking behind the scenes, like just the show, she just always seems like a nice person. So I just like, and all three of them look nice. So it's like, I want to meet someone, someone huge and
Fa-
famous.
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, I can get that. What is something people would be surprised to know about you?
Surprised.
Hmm.
Uh, it's not my first time of trying to run a website. Uh, the, it actually took me 9 times to finally get the website up and running.
Wow. Okay, I like that. Let's see. What's one thing you feel you failed at, and what did you learn?
Me fail? I'm perfect. uh, okay. Where do I start? I think one thing I failed at was my. I had a lot of. I had two mobile apps for my website,
Hmm.
and I felt like I failed at that completely. I don't think I advertised them well enough,
Right.
and I never got many users to interact with. Uh, like looking at the web page when it was up on the web page and whatnot,
Okay.
and so I destroyed them last year, and I created a web app instead, and now people are more interested in that. And I was like, I don't get it, the timing, or I'm just better at what I do now than.
I think a combination of things: the timing, better at it now, and then just perseverance, and you kept trying. So, if you had a billboard with anything on it, what would it say and why?
Okay, I used, it's funny. I was on the show last night on someone else's podcast. Somebody had the
Hmm.
same exact question.
Oh, really? Oh, someone took my question. That is rude. I need to write somebody. That is rude.
Yeah, definitely should. There, and it's funny. The audio from their show, I thought they said that it was like $1 billion. So sweet. Uh, I would say autism is not the end of the world, and
Ooh.
it is. I think it makes the world a unique place, and
Hmm.
I think it's time for the world to evolve around the fact that people have autism, and we shouldn't always have to change for to fit into society.
I like that. That works. Okay. All right. What advice would you give someone with autism that wants to follow you in your footsteps?
Don't listen to the naysayers. There's a lot of people who would tell you you're crazy. There's not, and it's like, how can you? I had somebody who literally told me, "How can you make money off of a website?" And my first response is, I was like, have you lived under a rock? Have you heard
Really
of
though?
Amazon,
Yeah.
Walmart, all the retail stores who have online presence? Uh, 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 the better question would have been, how can you make money off of a website? Because that would be a legitimate question. But but uh, but always keep proving the namesayers wrong,
Mm.
because that's their mindset, that they're trying to force upon you and saying you can't do this. I was like, well, if they're telling you can't do it, it means that they have a weak mindset.
I agree with that 100%, my friend. What's the most important thing you've learned so far in your life and why?
Ooh, I've learned a lot of things. I need to get like a whole list of.
Nope, only one thing. Only one
Oh,
thing.
uh, one thing I would say, I had when I first started my website. I wish I went. I wish I was patient enough to look at many of the other platforms out there,
Hmm.
because I went with WordPress, and I'm not. This was no bash to WordPress whatsoever. It is, for me. Me and technology has a love-hate relationship,
Right.
and I'm no developer whatsoever,
Hmm.
and I don't think I could. I wish I saved myself a whole year and 90 hours plus a week difficulty,
Right.
and just started with Squarespace, because it would save me a lot of hassle and a lot of money.
I get that. I get that completely. In your opinion, what is the best tip for making the world a better place?
That seems like a trick question.
I gotta tell you, as many times I've asked that question, I don't think anyone has ever said that one. That's the one that sounds like a trick question.
uh,
Oh,
I think I think one of the I think one of the things that would make a world a better place would I think everybody just needs to have an open mind about stuff
ooh, yeah.
and just accept people's beliefs for their beliefs and leave it as that. Don't persuade everyone.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
And you can read between the lines if you want. That has no politics involved whatsoever. That is throwing it out there. That goes to any subject out there.
Oh man, definitely. If you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
I would say jump on the bandwagon, go to college, and not take 3 years off, and be a
Oh,
lazy fart. Um,
okay. All right. I get that. All right. So, Jimmy, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of failure.
Mm, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, we only have a few more questions left. They're going to get tougher. You ready?
Yep.
If in 150 years science fails to save us all, Jimmy, and the only thing that's left is a book about your life, what would the title be and what would the back say?
I would say the title would be I even had some great titles that was running my head the other day. It would have been either uh, may the odds may never be in your favor,
Okay.
uh, or overcoming all the odds.
I like that. Overcoming all the odds. I like that. I think I picked that up. Okay. What are the best resources you've had along the way?
It can be any resources.
Yeah, any resources. It could be people, books, websites, just whatever you feel is in a resource that has helped you.
I think the best resource I have ever gotten, well, I mean, it wasn't for free, but I wish. Uh, but what they say, if it was free, it might be totally terrible and
Hmm.
it'd be broken. Uh, I think my favorite things I ever purchased, I mean, these books was it's called it's by this company called Make Traffic Happen. It's for all these SEO books,
Hmm.
and I kid you not, my website was literally on the my back pages of Google for long periods of time.
Hmm.
Got no traffic to it, or very slim traffic to it, and and I like to call that space all the way in the back end of Google and Google Hell.
Hmm.
And my website spent a lot of time in Google Hell.
Yeah.
And when I bought these books,
Hmm.
it was like I think it was like a 5 or 8 step method or something.
Hmm.
And I was like, how can this be like this? Only 5 to 8 steps. You could go around all these articles and say,
Hmm.
here's the 42 SEO methods that you must use in order to rank on page one. I was so daunted by those articles online.
Hmm.
So I bought the books finally. I was coming home from vacation and I was like, okay, the only way I'm going to keep going on this if I'm going to see some progress. And because, and I'm not saying like, oh, it has to be overnight, but it's like, just give me something, just one win, please, just
Hmm.
one. And I literally just revamped a post as one for 1 week. maybe a week or two later,
Hmm.
it's already ranked on the first page of Google. And I was like, this book is magic. I was like, this 8-step process or 5 step.
Right.
I still have the books, but I forget the process.
Right.
I mean, I don't forget it, but I forget if it was either
Right.
8 or 5.
Uh-huh.
It was one of those two. But.
Okay. All right. I love it. So our last question, where can our listeners connect with you online for motivation and for the fitness guy?
Perhaps me you should ask, where can't you find me?
Oh, where can't you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn, and you can follow me. For Facebook, you can follow me at jimmy.clare.speaker, and the same thing for Instagram. And for Twitter, it's Jimmy Clare Speak. God forbid I could ever have 17 characters in a username on Twitter.
Right.
17 will just break the whole system. And Crazy Fitness Guy, you can basically follow. Just go to crazyfitnessguy.com and look at those social the social buttons on the website, because I try to be everywhere, and
Oh.
automation is my friend.
Oh, I get that 100%. So, Jimmy, I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for coming and being on the show and sharing your experiences, your challenges, and how you've overcome so many different things in your life. And before I officially let you go, are there any last pearls of wisdom you'd like to share with the audience?
I would say, if you're hungry to go out and inspire someone, stick with it, and don't give in to your people saying all the stuff like, "Oh, you won't ever make it." It has taken me almost 4 years uh, to actually start making money. I mean, not like I'm filthy rich or anything, but enough money to cover all my expenses. So, and I and when you do start making that money to covering your expenses, always say thank you, because a thank you goes a long way. And because I always believe, I think always goes a long way, and people just like to be thanked. And every milestone and every year, I like to look back, and I always thank all my readers for supporting me, because I couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely. Gratitude goes a long way. And with that being said, thank you, Jimmy, again for being on the show. I hope you have
Thanks for having me.
I hope you have a blessed day, my friend. And for everyone tuning in, whether now, later, or at some point in the future, this has been Bite the Bullet, and we will catch you later.